Good evening and welcome to Business Today on Channel I. On this program, we talk about business, entrepreneurship and many insightful topics with high-profile individuals. Keep tuning in to today's episode as well while we discuss business today. Today's personality is the Chief Operating Officer of Pan Asia Bank, and to know more about today's personality, let's take a look at the character profile.
Naleen counts over 35 years of banking experience with extensive experience in retail and SME banking, including credit, recoveries, project financing and branch operations. He has been with Pan Asia Bank since the year 2000 and has been one of the main contributors to the success the bank has achieved over the years. He started his banking career in 1987 with Commercial Bank of Ceylon and then joined National Development Bank in 1998. Naleen holds an MSc in Management from the University of Sri Lanka. He is a Senior Fellow of the Institute of Bankers of Sri Lanka, Fellow of the Certified Professional Managers, Member of the Association of Professional Bankers Sri Lanka, and a Certified Life and Business Coach from the Sri Lanka Institute of Training and Development. He is at present the Chairman of the Banking Subcommittee of the National Chamber of Commerce of Sri Lanka, and he is also a member of the Academic Council of the Institute of Bankers of Sri Lanka. Naleen is a proud product of Trinity College, Kandy, and won the Gordon Burroughs Scholarship for the best student in the Commerce stream in A-Levels and represented college first 11 cricket team in 1985. He was an outstanding orator in school and was the president of the Sinhala Literature Union and the Buddhist student movement. Celebrated by its stakeholders and customers and admired by its peers, Pan Asia Bank stands tall in Sri Lanka's banking sector, securely positioned as the truly Sri Lankan bank. Its dynamic journey thus far reflects many industry-first milestones. Pan Asia Bank's prosperity is linked inextricably to the communities it serves, helping them to face challenges with confidence through financing sustainable projects and by conducting meaningful CSR projects to uplift communities. The bank's superlative performance across all key indicators has brought with it many accolades, including the Runner-Up Award in the banking sector and the Merit Award in corporate governance categories at the annual National Business Excellence Awards. Pan Asia Bank was also selected by LMD as one of the top 15 most awarded entities in 2022.
Good evening, Mr. Naleen, and welcome to the program.
Good evening.
Now, we know that you did many things in school and you were a good academic, an orator and a good sportsman, especially in cricket as well. So I'd like to ask you, tell us a bit more about your school life and how exactly were you able to balance all these things?
First of all, Prashant, thank you very much for inviting me and Pan Asia Bank to this forum. Discussing my school life, of course, I come from a school from the hill capital. It's called Trinity College, and I'm sure you have heard of it. Of course, how I balanced my life when in school is basically threefold. One, by observing my parents. I do not depend much on things coming naturally. My first impressions were my parents, who were both academics, who were both principals in schools, and they taught me how to balance life and also to read a lot of books, which gave me a lot of knowledge in balancing life. Number two is how I was groomed in my alma mater. The school always told us to excel in all disciplines, maybe whether it's studies, sports or any other activities. You need not excel in only one area, but you need to work in all areas. In fact, in our school, the highest award, which is the Right Gold Medal, is for the best all-round sportsman, all-round student. So he need to excel in sports, he need to excel in studies, he need to excel in other activities. So that is how our school was groomed, and it was a institution with lot of discipline, punctuality. Those are very, very important things. So that was groomed me. And Prashant, the final thing was the experiences I had in my life in school. I used to travel, even my schoolmates might not know this. I used to travel from Kandy, I need to travel to Gampala, and from Gampala I need to travel another 3 miles by bus to another place called the famous Ambuluwa Hill, right? So what happened was, basically for a day I used to travel about 50 kilometers, and those days buses were also not that they were not available in like these days. So if you look at it, from the 24 hours, 5 hours I was on the road when I was schooling. So nearly 7 hours in school. So I had to balance that time, which was very important. So those were the experiences. And in fact, after cricket practice, some days, say maybe practices finishes off at 5 o'clock, I had to take a bus from Kandy to Gampala, 23 kilometers, and when I go there, my next bus has already gone. So then I walk. I had to walk a mountain for 3.5 kilometers. I did that almost once a week when the buses were not there. Okay. So these were the experiences. So it is threefold that how I balanced my life. Those were the experiences I gained.
Great. Now you mentioned that your parents were both principals of schools. How exactly did you get into the banking sector?
Yeah. Prashant, my first attempt to join university did not materialize, even though I passed my A-levels. So I had to do my second try to get into university. So soon after school I came to Colombo, and I went for tuition in Colombo, and I got through to the University of Colombo, Business Administration. But those were the days Sri Lanka was going through a huge unrest, the 88, 89 riots. So I realized the university thing is not going to happen to me. I decided I must join some organization. So the first thing I did was I applied to a company called Caves Tea Company, that is based in Vauxhall Street. I was selected as a management trainee, and from there they decided, because I like books a lot, they assigned me the Caves Bookshop, which is in the Gafur building of Fort.
Okay.
So Caves Bookshop gets a lot of bankers coming in to buy books, because a commercial bank, Bristol Street, and the head office commercial bank and the city office staff were coming into the Caves Bookshop. I was in the Caves Bookshop. I was selling books, and I was learning the art of management there. So when these bankers came, I was wondering, they are a bit of a, when you compare with others, they were of a different level. So I realized this is a good area for me to get an opportunity. So what I did was, I walked across to the bank, which was on the other side, and I went inside direct to see the branch manager there. Later I realized even the bank employees can't go and see the bank manager direct.
Okay.
So I went there and I spoke to the manager, and in fact he's one of the most eminent bankers to date, Mr. Haris Premaratne of Commercial Bank. He asked, I was a very young guy, so he asked me to sit, and he elaborated me how I can join a bank. So then he said, there will be an advertisement, so you apply through that. So I advertised, and I was called for the interview, and when I went to the interview panel, Mr. Haris Premaratne was also there, and he said, you are very familiar to me. I said, yes, I came and asked you how to join a bank.
Okay.
Right? So then he knew that I am very interested in this, and that is how I got into Commercial Bank of Ceylon, which in fact taught me the first thing banking.
Right. Now, you are currently the COO of Pan Asia Bank, and it's certainly not an easy task to just get the COO position. So I would like to know how you ended up here, about your banking career.
I think, yes, that's a good question, Prashant. In fact, there are a lot of people in the country who are trying to get into banks. And I'm also in the Institute of Bankers Sri Lanka Academic Council. And a lot of young people like you,
Right.
they like to join banks. And we see a lot of people coming to bank interviews. So what I did was actually, after joining Commercial Bank, I did my banking exams first thing. So I completed my banking, and of course the promotions came naturally. And then in 1998, I thought of joining a National Development Bank because I usually explore things. So National Development Bank at that time was the leading bank in project financing, and I realized that's an area where I need to explore. So I joined National Development Bank, and from National Development Bank, I was in Ratnapura branch. I was basically taken by Pan Asia Bank as the Ratnapura manager at that time. So I joined Ratnapura branch of Pan Asia Bank, and from there I did give my best to the bank.
Okay.
And that is why, as your trail says, I was one of the main contributors for the bank to come to this level, and I did my level best. So the bank identified my skills, my strategies, then my teamwork. So all these came in, and that's how I gradually ended up becoming the COO of this bank.
Right. Now, you mentioned that there are a lot of youngsters who want to join the banking industry, and you have had so much of experience coming from the start, from the bottom all the way to the top, and you must have obviously faced a lot of trials and temptations and a lot of issues. So would you like to tell the youngsters listening out there, maybe there must be someone who is interested in joining your bank as well, would you like to just let us know about some challenges you faced and what you did to overcome them?
Right. For a prospective banker, I think ideally they should complete advanced level. Of course, there are chances of a person with O levels also to do banking, but finally when it comes to joining a bank, there will be issues if you don't have advanced level. So you need to work hard, but the fact is, these days many of course try to get qualifications but end up not getting those qualifications. We have noted that in the youngsters.
Right.
So I think people, the supervisors need to guide them, right? If you get good guidance from your superiors, and also you strive hard and you are focused, I'm sure any person can go up the ladder in banking. And it's Prashant, it's a very lucrative job. Right? It pays well. It gives you a housing loan. It gives you a vehicle loan at concession rates, and there are other perks compared to other industries. So naturally, you can become a slightly high net worth person than others, being a banker. So right. I welcome others also to explore possibilities of joining a bank. It's a good profession to be in.
Great. Now, Pan Asia Bank has been listed as one of the top 30 businesses in the Business Today magazine. And how was this possible in such a short time span?
Yeah. Prashant, Pan Asia Bank started in 1995. This is a fully owned Sri Lankan bank. In the beginning, people thought this is a foreign bank, being Pan Asia Bank, and even the branches look a bit foreign. So from 1995 to year 2010, 15 years, we had a very slow journey because the bank was concentrating on a bit of a high-end market. And also our asset base was only 30 billion as at 2010, and we were making a profit of about 175 million for a year. But in 2010, our bank took a bold decision in going for financial inclusion, going towards the masses. In fact, we were the first bank to grant loans to the forces even when there was a war. Then we went to the government pensioners. Then we started loans to other government entities, agriculture loans for projects to cater different kinds of requirements. Then the SME segment on a large scale, and also for savings, for people to save, we also came up with giving the highest rate for savings deposits. So likewise, we went to the masses in a big way after 2010. So that laid the foundation for us to, in a decade's time, in 2020, and now we are a institution that is making a profit of 3 billion per annum, and our asset base from 30 billion has grown up to 200 billion. So this is where we have come to the top 30 companies in the island in 2020 as per the Business Today magazine.
Right. Now, COVID-19 had a big impact on a lot of businesses, and I'm sure it had a big impact on yours as well. Can you just tell us what were the lessons you learned from COVID-19, how you were able to really overcome any challenges?
Right. Prashant, let me taking into consideration our customers. I think the first lesson that was learned was expect the unexpected. No one thought that, even the top businesses never thought they will be at home for so many years. For maybe 2 years they were at home and the businesses were not functioning. This is where the little savings that they made became very important. So this is why we are always saying, save. If you are earning 1 lakh, save at least 10,000. Right? Because you will get unexpected things coming in. Number 2 is basically, if you are doing a business, you should know what segments give you top profits or what segments you need to focus on. So keep that in mind. I'm advising all businesses, keep that in mind. What is giving you the best possible profit from your range of products, and strategize through that, even in different times, how you can continue that particular business of yours, that particular segment of your business. Number 3 is networking. If you are good with your debtors, if you are good with your creditors, and if you are good with your customers, they will always assist you. But if you are, if the customers are saying you are a stingy guy, and the debtors are saying you are not giving them credit periods, then when problems arise, you will be the last person they will support.
So you should build a good relationship.
Then number 4 is basically technology. See, people started selling through Uber Eats, Uber Ride, right? Then Pick Me. They were starting selling, and even companies were having meetings through Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, right? So have some adaptability towards technology. This is very important. And also, finally, work-life balance. If you are not good at home during COVID times, when the COVID came, if you had previously been not good at home, you would be a real outcast for 2 years staying at home. So I think you need to maintain that work-life balance as well, because one day you will have to, in any case, stay at home, right? So you need to build that work-life balance with your family as well.
Right. Now we have come towards the end of our program, and before we wind up, I would like to ask you, what advice do you have for the people of Sri Lanka, and what do you expect from the country to overcome this present crisis, in short?
Yeah. I think crisis situations are normal. There will be crisis situations. There had been crisis situations, and they will continue to come. So, what do we do when there is a crisis? First thing is you need to relax, right? And then you strategize. I think right now what the country needs is the country's top professionals need to get together, and there are so many ideas coming in, but there has to be one vision, and that vision may be take as an example. We will build $8 billion reserve in another 6 months' time. Make that vision and communicate it to the country. That has to come from the leader. Communicate it to the country, and then people will feel safe. People will have confidence. People will know this country is going in the right path. So that needs to happen. But in any case, our people have overcome situations like this even before. So I'm sure Sri Lanka will turn around.
Thank you so much for those positive words. That was Mr. Naleen Edirisinghe, the Chief Operating Officer of Pan Asia Bank. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you, Prashant, for giving us this time. Thank you very much.
And that winds up today's program of Business Today. Do join us next week as well. Till then, have a good night.